that's my fault. Maybe I'm dumb. Actually, that's not a maybe. That's just a fact. But I paid for a Kindle subscription for that. Prison. Prison, life sentence, prison. I'm gonna say something really, really, really real right now. I'm going insane. I read this book like 3 weeks ago and I don't think I have recovered. No! No! I'm gripping the wall, but you can't see. Sometimes I just have to make sure. I have to make sure that I hate it. Obsessed. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Katie and I'm really happy that you're here. Today I'm going to be doing a very exciting video that I have been waiting to do, and it's finally time to film my tier ranking all of the books that I read this year. Now, for a little backstory, this is my first year doing this. You know, I love books and reading. I'm a writer, so I really love books. But I was unfortunately a victim of the classic burnt out gifted kid doesn't read for 10 years trope. So this year, 2023, was the first year that I really got back into reading. I'm not saying that I didn't read at all in 10 years. And when I say 10 years, I mean 10 years. Like, I think the last time that I before now, the last time that I was really into reading was probably when I was 8 or 9, and I'm currently 19. So I mean, every single last second of those 10 years, I was burnt out of reading. I remember in 2nd grade, I was at like a 12th grade reading level, and because my comprehension was so high, they would make me read like new adult novels. I'm not talking young adult. I'm not even talking teen. I'm saying new adult, like adult novels. Not like adult novels, but you know what I mean, like novels for adults. 300, 400 pages in 2nd grade. And could I read those? Yes. Could I understand them? Yeah, that's the point. Like, my reading level was that high. But did I, as a 2nd grader, want to read adult novels? No. So then I kind of got it in my head that reading was boring, and that like when I get older, these are the kind of books I will have to read. And so I was like, I don't want to read anymore. And then after 2nd grade, from 3rd grade on, I was homeschooled, and every single lesson, like, it's in a textbook. Like, I was reading all the time, and that really added to it. So I just really did not enjoy reading in my childhood, in my youth. But I graduated this year, and not to be like sappy or whatever, but I've been in therapy, and something that my therapist told me was because I'm in this new stage of my life. I'm moving into, adulthood. What do I want my life to look like? Because I'm not like in high school. I have to figure out what I want to do for a career. Like, what's important to me? She, said, think about what you used to enjoy when you were younger, because that's typically what is really important to you, because it's things that you did when nothing really mattered. And one of those things was reading. Also writing. I also really just got back into writing this year. I don't think I've talked about that, but that's not what this video is about. But reading was one of those things. And so my best friend never had the burnt out stage. She's been reading her entire life. She never stopped. So I asked her for some book recs, and in April of this year, I started reading again. From April to now, I read 50 books, which isn't like crazy, but it's not impressive. I'm proud of myself. I just finished my 50th book like 3 days ago, so I just recently hit the goal. Yeah, don't really know what else to say, so let's just get right into it. I moved my camera over. I'm gonna put the screen recording right there. Please ignore the 2nd tab that says how to stop a screen recording. Saving that for later. So my tiers in order from top to bottom, best to worst tier is, number 1 is Roman Empire. Books that I literally haven't stopped thinking about since I read them, like fave books of all time, would recommend to anyone. Below that is loved, but not life-changing. Like, I loved the book, but it's not a Roman Empire. It's not like, oh my gosh, like 10 out of 5 stars. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that, but I still loved it. Like, it's still up there. Then we have okay. Now, this maybe feels a little negative, but I just mean, like, do you ever, like, read a book that's really hyped or something, or even, like, you hyped it up in your own head, and then you read it and you're just like, okay? It's not, like, okay. It's okay. Like, meh. Like, I didn't, like, what was that? Like, I don't really, it was just like, meh. It's like, okay. Like that. Then we have, I literally forgot about this book. Now, I named this tier this because when I was saving the images of the covers from Goodreads, I literally forgot about some of them. So it's like, ooh, forgettable. You know, whether or not I like them or not will, you know, come up when I go through them, because maybe I really liked it, I just forgot. Like, I don't know, but it's like literally forgot about that I read this. Like, not, I didn't remember. And then last we have Straight to Prison. Not jail, prison. Because I read lots of books this year that I was like, what the hell was that? What was that? These books need to be locked up for a very long time. Prison. Federal prison, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. These aren't in any particular order, like the cover pictures. I just went through my Goodreads, everything that I read, and then screenshotted all the covers and then uploaded them. Like, this is not in order. Starting off, we have Verity by Colleen Hoover. I am not the biggest Colleen Hoover stan. I think she's like problematic. I haven't really looked into it. I don't have the mental energy. I just am like, I don't know what's going on. But I did read Verity because I wanted to know what everyone was talking about. I actually really enjoyed Verity. I do love a thriller, and this is kind of unlike anything that she's written before. And you know, I think I read it in a day and a half, and I stayed up until 1 a.m. to finish it because I couldn't sleep without knowing how it ended. Like, it was really good. I don't know if I'm gonna get hate for that, but it was really good. I did really like it. It's definitely not Roman Empire level, but I did love it. I did love it, but it not life-changing. But I did love. I can't move. Oh my god. Oh my god. Everything's glitching. Oh my god. Okay. Loved, but not life-changing. Hello? Huh. Okay, it's there. It's there. Oh my god. It's glitching. This will be interesting. Next up is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I think Lynn Painter is also problematic. However, Better Than the Movies is 100% a Roman Empire book for me. It's probably my favorite romance that I read this year. It was so good. I was giggling, blushing, kicking my feet, twirling my hair, obsessed. I read this like in April when I first got back into reading. So I remember reading this and this sounds so stupid. I was sitting on like my family's swing set outside, swinging, reading this and just giggling. Like, it was just so fun and lighthearted, and I really, really loved it. I'm gonna put this in Roman Empire. Putting it in Roman Empire. Next up is a little book called Triple Threat. This book has a backstory as to why I read it. Apparently, it's a spin-off of something, so that's probably why I didn't really get it. Me and my friends attempted to start a book club earlier this year, but it didn't really last. We read one book, and that was Triple Threat, recommended by one of my friends. You know, I already know where this is going. Straight to prison. I don't know what that book was. I don't exactly remember everything that happened in that book because I read it in like July, but I do remember that it was really, really bad and really weird. It was like, I paid for a Kindle subscription for that. Absolutely do not read that book. It was bad. Okay, next up is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm gonna put this in loved, but not life-changing. I am a Taylor Jenkins Reid stan. I've almost read all of her books. I am obsessed with everything that she writes. I am obsessed, and I'm going to eat it up every time. So, yeah, Malibu Rising was not, you know, one of my favorites of hers, but like, it wasn't bad. Like, when compared to some other books, like, it's still like one of the best books I've read this year. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very interesting. The whole, like, you know, it takes place in like 24 hours, the entire book. Like, it was a very interesting concept. I don't really know what else to say. Next is this book called Capcut. I was like, lesbians. My dog wants to break in. It's basically a sapphic sports romance, and sports romances are very like in right now, particularly hockey. And I think also F1. I don't know what F1 means. I'm just a girl. So I just read, you know, the gay version, and personally, I liked it. I don't know if I can put it in loved, though. I wouldn't say I loved. It feels maybe like an okay, but less of like an okay, and more of an okay, but still an okay. So we're gonna put it in okay. Just realized I was slouching the entire time. Next up is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I read the trilogy, all of the books, so I'm counting this picture, this one little picture of it, as all three, the whole series. So I had never read the books before. I know that they're like for middle schoolers basically, but I knew that going in, so I wasn't like expecting too much. I just wanted to read the books because I really enjoy the show, and so I wanted to read the books just to know what it was about, what was up, you know? And honestly, I'm gonna say something really, really, really real right now. I kind of live, laugh, loved for those books. Like, because I missed out on so many books in middle school, sometimes when I read books that are like a little bit more juvenile, I'm like, I don't know, it's like, it heals my inner child, because I could have been reading these, but instead I wasn't. I kind of liked them. I knew they were gonna be cringy. I knew it was gonna be juvenile and teen and like kind of stupid. I knew that going in, because that's what the show is. But like, you can't look away. There's something about it. I don't know. It's just, it's inner child healing for some reason. I almost want to put it in Roman Empire, because I do think about The Summer I Turned Pretty a lot. The books and the show. I'm gonna put it in Roman Empire. I am. I don't think I would claim that it's like one of my favorite books of all time, but I would claim that it's a Roman Empire. I do. I loved it, and I think about it a lot. Next is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid, my fave. I liked this book. This book made me weep. I mean, that was the point, I think, but it did make me weep. I think I cried to every single one of her books. So I'm gonna put it in okay, because it was okay. I didn't hate it. I think I read it in like 2 days. It was fairly short, easy to digest. It had a really great like message to it. I really, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say I loved. It was like, okay, there's different levels of okay. Next is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I really liked it. I also really liked the movie. The movie was like, it was cringy, but also it was fun, and made me giggle. It was just a really fun read, and I loved the book. It was written very well. I was very invested. It was very realistic. Like, I liked it. It was realistic, but also escapism, because it was like in a world where there was a woman of color as president, so it was like escapism into a better world, but also realistic in the sense that like the conversations that these characters were having and the challenges that they were facing seemed pretty realistic to me, and they were relatable characters. I really enjoyed it, and it was a fun read. I'm probably gonna put this in Roman Empire. I do think about this book quite often, yeah. Next up is People We Meet on Vacation. I liked this book, but I didn't love. I kind of thought I would love. I love a summer book. My book that I'm reading is a summer book. Like, I am a summer book girl. There's something about it that it feels so good. Like, it's just a feel-good setting to be in, But it wasn't, I don't know. And I was often confused by the time skipping around, like the dates. I was like, and what's happening right now? Like, I didn't fully know what was happening. So maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm dumb. Actually, that's not a maybe. That's just a fact. But maybe it's because I'm dumb that I didn't really love. I'm gonna put this in, it's either gonna go in okay, or I literally forgot about this book, because I kind of did forget about it. Like, when I was going through Goodreads, I was like, oh yeah, I did read that. So I think I'll put it in I literally forgot about this book, because I did forget. I didn't hate it. I finished it. I was rooting for Poppy and Alex, was it? Like, I was, there were parts of it that I was like, I can get behind this. But, like, I don't know. People hype up Emily Henry a lot. And that was the first Emily Henry book that I read, and I kind of wanted more. I wanted to be invested, and I just wasn't. Next is Happy Place, also by Emily Henry. And I I liked Happy Place even less. I just couldn't get into the world. I don't know, I felt like there was too much background. It wasn't very easy to get immersed. And I also don't love second chance romances because it's like there's a whole history between the two characters that we didn't see, and I'm just like, I'm not attached because I don't care about them because I didn't see them when they were in love. Like, I think there is like cutbacks, right, to them when they were together, but I was like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I couldn't get invested. So I cannot send this book to prison, but I'm gonna put it in I literally forgot, because while I did like it less than People We Meet on Vacation, I can't put People We Meet in okay, because I forgot about it. It was forgettable. I wasn't invested. So we'll put both of those in there because I wasn't invested. I can't think of a better word. I didn't care about the characters or the world. Next is One Last Stop. I really liked this book. It was a creative concept. It was a little bit silly because it was like magic existing in the real world, so it was a little bit like silly, but it was fun. It was lighthearted. I'm gonna put this in loved but not life-changing. It's not an okay. I wish there was something in between them, but there's not. So next up is If He Had Been With Me. I read this book like 3 weeks ago and I don't think I have recovered. I love a good like childhood friends to lovers that lasts years, like when it's in high school and they both like each other but they won't admit it, and like it just, the angst, and it drags on, and it's like, oh, it just hurts so good. I love it. I love it. I'm going to eat that up every time. I'm gonna put it in loved but not life-changing because I don't think it changed my life necessarily, but it was a great book. Tears streaming down my face. Like, it was good. Next up is Daisy Jones and the Six. Yeah! This was the first book I read this year, actually. I loved this book, and it is 1,000,000% a Roman Empire. I think about it almost every day. The book and the show. I think the show was better than the book, which like never happens, but I think the interview format, while it's very interesting in a book, like I have never seen anything like that before, and I was like, this is so cool. I think that it maybe works better in the show, and also the added flashbacks helps you get more invested, but the book was very interesting, and I liked trying to like read in between the lines of what the characters were saying, and like oh, they're lying here, or like I was like, this is so, it really made me think, and I really liked it. And then I watched the show, and I loved the show. In fact, I watched the show, well, one of it is on the internet, it's really embarrassing. I watched the show 5 times in like 2 months. I don't know, I just loved it. I'm sorry. I never got sick of it. I probably could watch it right now and still not be sick of it. I would still be gasping at all the plot twists and crying. Like, it was really, really well done, and I loved it. And were some of their songs on my Spotify Wrapped? Yes, they were, but no. I don't, no pictures, please. Next up is We Were Liars. I heard a lot of things about this book. I heard that everyone hated it, first of all. And I am embarrassed to admit that I actually kind of liked it. I liked it. I'm gonna put it in okay, because it wasn't a love, and it's not a Roman Empire, but it wasn't a hate, and it wasn't a forget. I didn't forget. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I don't know, and the plot twist got me good. Maybe, again, I am stupid, so this maybe is the problem, but like, I was like, whoa, I didn't see it coming. For me personally, like, I liked it. Sorry. Next is You'll Be the Death of Me. I liked this book, but honestly, I forgot about it. I forgot about it until I saw it in my, Goodreads history, and then I was like, oh yeah, I remember that, I liked that. But to be honest, I don't remember what it was about, so I literally forgot about it. Oh god. Next is Icebreaker. I really did not like this book. Like, I don't know if I want to get into it right now. The smut was random, first of all, out of pocket. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm not a spicy book girl, but they got together in like the first like 10 chapters, and then they were just together the rest of the book and like banging every other chapter, and I was like what is this? In the back of the Uber while their friends were, no, absolutely no. What is wrong with you people? Straight to federal prison, life sentence prison. No. Next is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is my Roman Empire. Like, it's not even like this is a Roman, no, it is it's the Roman Empire for me. Again, I'm counting the whole series in this, but the whole series is also my Roman Empire. I saw heaven when I read this book. I was like, I am obsessed. I'm also obsessed with Holly Jackson. Like, I think I've read everything she's written, because I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then I also read Killjoy, and then I read 5 Survive, which is on here, and I think that's all of them, right? But I love. She's like, her, Holly Jackson and Taylor Jenkins Reid, like, auto buy. They release something and I'm like, put it in my cart. Next is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't even think I have the energy to rave about this book as much as I like need to. This is my favorite book that I have read this year. I'm gonna put it at the beginning. It has not been topped. I read it in like September and it hasn't been topped. Like, I can't, there's nothing that will ever come close to how good that book is. Like, oh my god, I remember when I finished it, I was wearing like a face mask, you know, like a skincare face mask, and I was reading it, and when I got up and I was done reading it, I finished it, I closed it, I got up, I looked in the mirror, my face mask had melted off from how much I had cried from the end. Wow, absolutely life-changing. I love that book. I recommend. Next is The Summer of Broken Rules. And I say that I hated this book. I'm gonna say I literally forgot about it because I don't even remember the plot. Like, I just wasn't, it wasn't my thing. Even though it should have been. Like, girl goes back to her childhood town. This is me, this is my memory. So I'm so sorry if this is wrong. But she goes back to her town, and then there's like for the summer, and there's a tradition, like a game that her family takes part in every year, and they're like acting in this game, and then she falls in love with one of the other guests playing in the game. So up my alley, but it wasn't. I just was bored. Maybe I hate summer books. Maybe I thought I loved them, but I hate them. Next is The Love Hypothesis. I'm gonna put it in okay, because I can't say that I loved, but I didn't forget about it. I think I liked it. You know, I don't understand what the hell is going on when they start talking science. Like, I'm like, what are you saying to me? Like, I don't know. So a lot of the times I skimmed over some parts because I was like, I don't really care about the science aspect of it, but the romance was good. Maybe I need to change the okay to just okay, exclamation point. Oh my god. Next up is the Shatter Me series. Again, I just put the cover of the first book because I think it covers it all. I'm gripping the wall, but you can't see. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. I love it. I need to buy the series. It's just like there's a lot of books. I feel like my money would be all gone. I read it, the whole series, in like a month and a half. I want to say that. I could be lying, but I want to say that, so I'm gonna say it. When I was reading it, you could not pull me away from that series. I'm obsessed. It was perfect. And there was spice, but there wasn't too much spice. And the spice never felt random or uncalled for. It always was in the right place. The characters were all so well fleshed out, and it was just such a good series. I lived for it. Roman freaking Empire. Apparently I have lots of Roman empires, but and here we are, yet another Roman Empire. Normal people. I just need to stay here for like a second, you know, because, you know, I love a good angsty, spans several years romance. Like, I will eat it up. This book was just, oh, it really, really scratched my brain just right. And I liked it, and obviously then I watched the show, and I will never recover. Next on the list is All the Bright Places. I watched the movie first because it was on Netflix, and I guess I had added it to my like watch list a while ago, and then I was just like bored one day, and I was like, I'll watch it. So I watched it, and I liked it, but I wanted to read the book because I was like, I bet there's more that wasn't in the movie, and I wanted to see it. And I liked it. I'm gonna put it in okay though, because I can't say that I loved, but like it was good. Hurt my feelings, like, you know, good. Next is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I feel like I'm fairly late to this book. Honestly, It Ends With Us was better. I'm gonna put it in okay. You know, like I read it and it was okay. And I was like, okay. Next we've got I Kissed Shara Wheeler. Is it Shara? Isn't it just Sarah with an H? It's probably wrong, but whatever. I like this book too. I definitely liked like Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop more, but I did really like I Kissed Shara Wheeler as well. I'm gonna put it in loved. Loved, but not life-changing. Next is Wildfire. Now you might be thinking, Katie, you just said you hated Icebreaker. Why would you read Wildfire? Well, first of all, sometimes I just have to make sure. I have to make sure that I hate it. Second of all, Wildfire felt more like my vibe anyway. Like summer camp, forbidden romance, like that's more my thing. So I was like, I'll probably like this better. And I did. I really liked it. I felt like Russ and Aurora were really rootable. It was like swoon word. Like it was so good. I really liked it. So I'm gonna put it in loved. Loved but not life-changing, you know? That's quite a jump from Prison. Next is The Way I Used to Be. My life has been changed. I absolutely I loved it. I think I'm gonna have to put it in Roman Empire. It's up with some tight competition up there, but like, I think it belongs there. I loved the way it depicted trauma and also like female rage, how people with traumatic pasts feel like they don't deserve good things to happen to them, so they kind of self-destruct their own lives. Like, it was so well done. You know, there's lots of books with like trauma, or like the characters have like family issues, or, you know, in this case obviously it's like the characters have some sort of trauma, but it's like the way that it affects them in the present isn't well written at all, and this was so good. I just highly recommend like every girl read this book, but also every person. I think it was a really realistic look into how trauma like that can like come through and affect your every single second of breathing in life. Like, I thought it was really great. Next up is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This was so cute. Lynn Painter just eats up cutesy rom-coms. I really love this book. It made me giggle. The couple was so shippable. I don't know what other word to use other than shippable, but you know what I mean, like you root for them. I'm gonna say loved but not life-changing. Next up is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, this was the last book I read this year. This is only referring to the first one, not the whole series. I haven't gone to the whole series yet. I'm on the second, but I finished the first, and that's what we're talking about here. I'm gonna say something. Maybe a few more books in to the series, I will feel more invested. It was just a lot of information in one book, you know, but now that I know how the world works, I feel like the second one's gonna be a little easier to read, and then I understand what's going on. The first book was just like a lot happening, and I was like, whoa. I'm gonna put it in okay. I didn't love, but I feel like I could love the series. I just don't know yet because I'm not too far in, you know? Okay, we've got 5 books left. Let's try to breeze through them. I'm getting a little tired of yapping. Okay, I'm getting a little tired. Okay, 5 Survived by Holly Jackson. Literally obsessed. I'm gonna put this in love but not life-changing because it's not like a Roman Empire and it didn't change my life necessarily, but I loved it. I read it in like one day, and again, I stayed up until 1:30 in the morning to finish it because I couldn't stop. Next up is Fourth Wing. I'm gonna have to put it in Roman Empire. It was so addicting. Like, once I started reading, I could not stop. I literally brought it to my therapist's office and read it while I waited the 5 minutes that it takes for her to come get me, because I couldn't be 5 minutes without it. Like, I loved this book. And then I'm gonna jump right to Iron Flame because we're talking about Fourth Wing, and I did finish Iron Flame as well. I'm gonna put Iron Flame in loved but not life-changing. I definitely enjoyed Fourth Wing more, but the end of Iron Flame, are you kidding me? I need book 3 right now. I'm going insane. I love it. I love it. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Last 2 books I have is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid and Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. One True Loves, I just finished it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I liked it, but I can't say that I loved. So I'm gonna put it in okay. And then for Carrie Soto is Back, I'm also gonna put this in okay. Because again, can't say that I loved. I didn't understand any of the tennis talk. I was like, what are you talking about? However, when I finished it, I did in fact go out and buy a tennis racket and start playing like against a wall in the backyard. Like, it really inspired me. But like, I was a student athlete for 7 years of my life, and so reading a book for the mind of an athlete that like puts their sport above anything else is like very relatable. It was a good message, you know, like at the end of the day, it is just a sport. I liked it, but I didn't love. But it was like, I read it and I was like, okay, makes sense to me. Okay, so here's my finished tier ranking of every book I read in 2023. This was a very fun video. I am quite tired and my throat hurts from talking, but this was very fun. I love, you know, giving my opinion when no one asked, so this was right up my alley. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope it was entertaining. If you want to know more about my book that I'm currently writing, I posted a writing vlog last week where I explained the synopsis and like basically what it's about, and then I did vlog myself writing a little bit, so you can check that out, or you can go to my TikTok, which is in the description, but also I'll just tell you, my TikTok is basically Katie, but basically period Katie. I talk a lot about my book and writing on there, so if you want to know about that, it'd be really great if you would check that out, and I also think you would like it too. I always love little TikTok friends, so yeah. And then obviously I post about reading and writing and vlogs and lifestyle here, so if those kind of videos are your thing, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I post every single Thursday, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope that you subscribe and stick around for more. But most importantly, I hope you have a really great day. Bye!